now. It was a very special day at Chelmsford Cathedral yesterday, a day of celebration for its lay ministry, a vital part of the Church of England. We're going to find out more about it now with one of the 7 new licensed lay ministers who really had something to celebrate yesterday. Their ministry officially began at Chelmsford Cathedral yesterday. Let's say good morning now to Martin Roscoe. Good morning to you, Martin.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How about you?
Yes, very good. Thank you.
I'm glad.
Special day yesterday.
It was a very special day by the sounds of it. So congratulations to you. Your lay ministry officially begins. What happened at the service yesterday?
Well, it started off that the 7 of us that were becoming licensed lay ministers had been on retreat since Thursday at the retreat house in Pleshy. And it started off, the Bishop of Chelmsford, Bishop Gooley, came to see us at the retreat house. And during a small service there, we had to swear oaths to the bishop. And then the main celebration took place at Chelmsford Cathedral from 2:30 yesterday afternoon. And it was just a service, not only of celebration of lay ministers, but all people in lay ministry. There were all sorts of other roles being licensed and certificated as well. Spiritual companions, pastoral assistants, pioneers, and also local evangelists. So there was lots of, the cathedral was absolutely packed out. It was amazing.
So one of those special times this summer where we can all come together after all these months and all this time of not being able to come together. And as you mentioned there, the lay ministry is a very, very large part of the church. What is its role within the Church of England?
Well, I'd say various roles, really, from pastoral assistants who look after all sorts of welfare issues, really, that sort of thing. And as I say, spiritual companions who walk alongside others, being like I'm trying to think of a word. I would say sponsor, but it's not a sponsor. It's more than that. It's being, a friend to somebody else who is in ministry and helping them along their way, that sort of thing. And licensed lay ministers, our role really is to work alongside the clergy and assist the clergy in any way that we can. We're not allowed to do certain things. We can't do baptisms, marriages, or take communion, but we can assist in any of those, and we are allowed to take funerals as well. It's just and a role that supports what the clergy do, and we also get involved in training and education and all that sort of thing.
So as you mentioned, you're supporting the clergy. And often it's the clergy who are the very visible face of the church, but so much work going on behind the scenes to offer that support. How wide-ranging is the role? Because you've mentioned some of the things you're doing, giving spiritual companionship and looking after welfare issues. There's a lot to take on, isn't there?
There is, yes, and for me in particular, I'm going to be doing a role. Where I see myself anyway, doing a role of training and education. So running seminars and training courses for people wanting to explore the Christian faith, and for those that have been around for quite some time. And it's important. Lay ministry has been such a big role in the church for many years, and it is different from being an ordained a priest, but both types, both clergy and lay, are there to sort of complement each other, and so we work very, very closely with our ordained clergy, our vicars and priests. So yeah, it's getting involved in all aspects of the church, really.
Why did you decide to enter the lay ministry?
Well, I could talk about this for a long time, but I won't. Myself, I had come out of a period in my life that was pretty dark, to be honest. 10 years ago, around then, I was in the grips of addiction to alcohol, and with the help of a lot of people and coming back to church that I used to go to when I was a child, really helped me get over that and recover from that. And it's been such a wonderful journey, and I just felt that God was calling me to give something back. And so that was why I sort of went through the process of thinking about it, and it took a good couple of years for me to make the decision fully, and in conversations with our vicar and things like that. But that for me, that was it. But people get called for many reasons, and so that's why I decided. And 3 years ago, started the training.
And it obviously is quite a complicated period of training because, as you said, you thought long and hard about your vocation, about entering the lay ministry, and you had those conversations. What happened once you decided to take that step and enter into training for the lay ministry?
Yes, but I did training with, as well as my fellow students, with St Mellitus College in Chelmsford. They have a centre in Chelmsford that's based at the cathedral, and it comes under the auspices of Durham University. And it's a 3-year course. You're actually studying for a certificate of higher education in Christian ministry and mission. And it's quite an undertaking, actually. It's a bit of a shock to the system to start with, and I think I worked out that it had been 39 years since I wrote an essay.
Oh no!
When we were given our first assignment, so that it's modular. You do certain modules across each year, and there's no final exam as such, but you do assignments at the end of each module, which all add up. And some of it is quite tough, quite challenging, but at the same time, really enjoyable, but it is quite a commitment. You not only are you at the college for the sort of 3 or 4 hours each week on a Thursday evening, but there's lots of work to do at home, and reading and writing of assignments and essays and things like that. And in your final year, you have to do a placement somewhere other than in your local church, and carry out research projects and all sorts of things like that. So it is quite a challenge, but well worth doing.
And you mentioned you thought about taking this step for a long time before you did it. Spiritually, once you'd made the commitment to the lay ministry, how did you prepare yourself spiritually?
I'm very fortunate that I had a lot of support from people at my own church, our vicar, and it was a lot of reflection and thinking about it. And then there is a discernment process that you have to go through, culminating in a day down at the Chelmsford Cathedral, where you are interviewed by 4 or 5 different people, and they just make sure that you are actually committed and ready for it. So it takes a little while, but it's very good. It's well worth it.
And so your lay ministry has officially begun, Martin. What now?
Well, it's starting today. Actually, I'm due at church for the 9 o'clock service.
Oh,
and our vicar is going to be doing an official welcome as part of the service. And then this afternoon, I'm helping to run what we call our Welcome Cafe, which we run from time to time at our church. It's for people that have recently joined the church. And it's a chance for us to have tea and cake, of course.
of course.
and just to have a chat with people, and them get to know us a little bit more, and us to get to know them a little bit more. So yes, it starts today.
Well, we wish you well with it. Many congratulations. That's Martin Roscoe, brand new licensed lay minister, licensed yesterday, as he said, that very special service that took place at Chelmsford Cathedral, led by the Bishop of Chelmsford, Bishop Gooley, and 7 new licensed lay ministers. But as Martin said, lay ministry is very, very diverse, many, many different roles incorporated into the lay ministry. Many of those roles celebrated yesterday at that special service at Chelmsford Cathedral.